You've been listening to Leonie Cohen. Welcome to LSD FOGG's last light show concert. The last one. Aren't you glad you got here? Does anyone not know that I'm Edwina Blush? Yeah, okay, there's some people here who don't know me. Hello. See, I think I don't need an introduction in Sydney. I just introduce other people now. And I would like to welcome to the stage artist and cultural historian, Warren Fay.
It's like stepping into Dante's Inferno. So many faces from my dark and mysterious 1960s, early 70s life that I thought I'd left behind. So, welcome. It's nice to be here in this unbelievable tribute to one of the alternative geniuses of Sydney, Australia. And so I'm delighted to be up here to acknowledge Roger and his work. I've made a few notes because I thought it was important that we give some background to why we're here together, because I think many of you haven't been together for a long time. I still remember the 60s. This place, Paddington, and this church is very memorable to me because, as some of you will know, I had Folkways Music over the road for 20 years, and it was a bit of a hub for alternative Sydney and some of the great alternative parties, which Roger was involved in. We sold the tickets, so I was on the freebie list. So I want to give you a little bit of context. It's a strange coincidence that Roger, the renowned luminaire kinetic sculptor, Roger Foley, aka LSD FOGG, and I know some of you wonder why that name came about, but it was related to LSD and the symbols for pounds, shillings, and pence, just so long as you know. 1942, when Roger was born, was probably the darkest year that we've ever experienced in our modern life. It was the year that Sydney Harbour was attacked. The midget submarines came in and they blew up the Cuttable. All the lights were out. They were out everywhere in Europe because of the bombers. Coincidence. The year that the Japanese came in their little submarines, compared to the ridiculous, unnecessary nuclear ones which our governments ordered, was a pity. It was also the same year that Hiroshima was bombed, a very sad event. And I think these world events influenced Roger. Roger turned the lights on in 1967. He was at uni, and I looked up Tharunka, 1967. That was the newspaper for the New South Wales Uni. And there was an ad in it that said, offering to hire psychedelic nipples and ripples, colour wheels and stroboscopes. They were heady times in more ways than one. Another Tharunka reported a year later promoting a happening that FOGG Films were putting on, and they said it was a freak out with underground movies, smoke, explosions, and dimmers. Tickets were $1. That is why Roger is so rich today. The same issue of Thurunka advertised a talk by Professor Stella Dalton on LSD. Was it insight or insanity? Mr. Fogg charged on with projected comments saying that over the next few years, and he wasn't wrong, that elephants blowing bubbles as they stomped through a haze of lights would be famous, and they were at his pink ball. In 1969, Roger was being referred to as Mr. Fogg, and in an interview, he predicted again cosmic balls and projected image systems would be the most popular of all his efforts. His underground FOGG concert turned away 800 people. And tonight we have a full room. Thank you. The Australian Women's Weekly, that noted avant-garde publication, did a major story in 1970 describing him as, I have to get this right, an atmospheretician. The journalist, Julie Cusco, commented, "It's a shock to see Roger spruced and quite as Foley one day and disorderly and a little kooky as Fogg the next day." Roger went on to become an internationally respected luminokinetic artist, combining social conscience, spirituality, surrealism, immersive experience, science, and wonder. Roger and I are roughly the same age. We're getting on a bit. But when his time comes, wherever he's going, probably sideways like me, I'm sure that when he's there, you'll hear a call. "Hey, Roger, can you turn the lights on?" Roger Foley. I've done a lot of things in my life, a lot of foolish things, including spending about 4 years in a two-man play with Max Cullen. He was Henry Lawson, great actor he was. He was Henry Lawson, I was Banjo Patterson. We were in heaven in the Leviticus Bar and Grill, having a few drinks and tearing strips off each other's personality. And this is one of the songs. It's when Roger started, I started about the same time. He was up there doing amazing shows, light shows that many of you and most of you experienced. And I went out with the tape recorder knocking on doors, collecting old bush songs. And this one I got from a man in Caringbah. He was 92. Which seemed very old at the time. It's quite young now. And Joe Watson, he sang this version, and it was a musical setting of a Banjo Patterson song. I am travelling down the Castlereagh and I'm a station hand, and I'm handy with the rope and pole, I'm handy with the brand. I can ride a rowdy colt, swing an axe all day, but there's no demand for a station hand along the Castlereagh. And it's shift, boys, shift. There isn't the slightest doubt. Oh, we'd have to make a shift for the stations further out. Oh, I saddled up the pony and whistled to the dog, and we made for up the country at the old jiggity jog, jiggity jog, jiggity jog. This old horse I'm riding, well, you'll notice what's his brand. Oh, he wears a crooked R, there's no better in the land. He takes a lot of beating, and the other day we tried for a bit of a joke with a racing bloke at 20 pounds a tide. And it was shift, boys, shift. There wasn't the slightest doubt. Oh, we'd have to make a shift, for the money was running out. But he cantered home a winner with the other one at the flog. He's a red hot sort to pick up with his old jiggity jog, jiggity jog, jiggity jog. Oh, I took a job of shearing once along the Martha Guy, and the boss said we shear non-union here. I called it scab, said I. I looked upon the shearing board before I chanced to go. There were 8 or 10 non-union men a-shearing in a row. And it was shift, boys, shift. There wasn't the slightest doubt. Oh, we'd have to make a shift with the leprosy about. I saddled up the pony and whistled to the dog, and we came across the country at the old jiggity jog, jiggity jog, jiggity jog, jiggity jog. It's time that I was moving on, I've a mighty way to go, till we find artesian waters 1,000 feet below, and meet the overlanders with their cattle coming down. We'll work a while, we'll play a while, and have a spree in town. And it'll be shift, boys, shift. There wasn't the slightest doubt. Oh, we'd have to make a shift for the station further out. I saddled up the pony and whistled to the dog, and we went across the country at the old jiggity jog, jiggity jog, jiggity jog. Thanks. Thank you.
Another hand for Warren Fay. And also for our friend Trevor Brown, accompanying him. It's very warm up here. Somebody saw me fanning myself and went, menopause. It's rather tactless. It's just warm. It's warm with the stage lights. I'm going to try it down here because I'm a little bit worried. Yeah, that's better. It's better down here, a little bit cooler, because I'd like to welcome to the stage the beautiful Francesca Emerson, our chocolate bunny. The last thing we need is for the chocolate bunny to melt under the hot stage lights. And I like to think that we have to clean up after there not being a dry seat in the house, but I don't want to be scraping Francesca off the carpet. Okay, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, Francesca Emerson, the chocolate bunny.
Welcome everyone. It's what a beautiful looking audience, and it's just so great to see so many familiar faces. I was so thrilled when Roger asked me to be part of this incredible journey he is about to take us on. I have known this man for over 34 years, and when I married him, I didn't know he was famous and a rock star. But he is a remarkable man because he continues to show us you are never too old to learn something new and to embrace life with enthusiasm. Roger has met and made a lot of young, new friends, and they have brought joy and happiness into his life. And in return, he is sharing his wisdom, his experience, his love, and his generous heart. Roger Foley FOGG, you keep on hopping down that yellow brick road and live the fullest life ever. I love you.
Would you like a microphone?
Do I need this? Do I need this? Yes, nobody can. I'm not going to repeat myself. So, thank you so much for coming along tonight, this afternoon. It's been a great... I think I have to throw this script away, you know. But I really think what we should do at this stage, and I think this is important, because we've been here since the 60s, you know, and we've been here for over 250 years. But there's people that have been here for over 50,000 years. And I like to acknowledge those people. I call the First Nations people. And I'd like to call on my granddaughter, where she is. There she is, because she can do a wonderful welcome to country. This is ILDY and this is FRIDA. They'll do a wonderful welcome to country. Thank you.
Ready? We'd like to acknowledge the Gadigal and Bidjigal people of the Eora Nation, the traditional custodians of this land where we are today. We pay our respects to elders past and present, always has and always will be Aboriginal land.
Thank you. I love you guys. Okay, sit down. Thank you so much. So I think we should hand it over. We've enough talking. It says here I've got to introduce EDWINA Blush. EDWINA is the most amazing performer. We've worked together for over 30 years, done so many different things together, but here she is with a totally new look and a totally new sound, thanks to her wonderful accompanist, Davey Ray, and an accompanist from the past, Trevor, might join in too, you never know. So I'll get out of the road, if I can figure out how to do this,
Yeah. So Roger is never too old to learn anything new. And Roger has introduced me to so many new things in my life. And this is a brand new thing in my life, is this new musical act with Davey Ray Moore. So we're calling ourselves BLUSHMOOR. Yeah. Because it all begins from here. Yeah. You know it's alright. It's been a long time coming. All the reasons, seasons of sorrow and cheer, whatever can and will ever be, it all begins from here. There's rhythms and time, cities and soldiers and ticking clocks. I'm getting off, I'm gonna disappear. So many roads to anywhere, they all begin from here. Yourself, not somebody else alone. Nothing ever lasts, this then too will pass. Believe, it all begins from here. Writing a note to all of the people that I never knew. There's a few to say I'm moving on. In a way I've already gone far away from here. Not somebody else alone. Nothing ever lasts, this then too will pass. Believe, it all begins from here. Begins from here. Thank you. This next song, we actually performed, I performed, using the royal we there, at Roger and Francesca's wedding. And I actually did think of Roger when I was writing this song, and you'll know at the end. I know you'll all know which line was written for Roger. We are the brilliant light of old energy. The sunlight in your eyes glows incessantly. It cannot be destroyed, it can only be exchanged. We are the blazing trail, we are eternal flame. The water of our tears that fall in joy or pain, this very atmosphere's molecules of rain, in an endless flow, liquid infinity, through plants and clouds and blood, an ever-changing sea. Elementary, every part of you flowing into me. We are everything into eternity. Elemental, elementary. The air of every sound, of every lover's song, breathes life in every fire, earthed where we belong. We are each other's breath, we speak the winds of change. We are the gentlest breeze inside the hurricane. Eating of the source, we are the shifting sands, the minerals of the stones, steal our gripping hands, sky of diamonds, we all are shining bright, but we only shine because we share the light. Elementary, every part of you flowing into me. We are everything into eternity. Elemental, elementary. We've got one last song. It's another song about the light. And this one, for this one, Trevor Brown is joining us on stage again. Thank you, Trevor. And this song, it's called The Innermost Light. And I bet there's a whole lot of you in this audience who know who coined that phrase. Does anyone want to hazard a guess? Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley came up with this phrase, the innermost light, to speak of the human soul. And I could name drop and say that Davey Ray Moore actually wrote this with that guy from the Libertines, your mate Carl. I could, but that would be in poor taste, wouldn't it? Okay, so we won't mention that. But thank you for having us. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having Davey, Trevor, and thank you, Roger, for everything that you've done for us over all of these years.
nothing without the sun. Dangerous romance is all the more fun. Spider webs glisten at the end of the night. That fleeting moment, the innermost light, hard light that flickers on the blade of a knife, and you on her lips, the light of your life, silhouettes in the lighthouse, ships lost in the night, secrets left on your pillow. For the innermost light, Gardens of Eden and rivers of tears, trapped in a diamond for a million years. Strangers' arms around your neck, clutching you tight. An old soul is searching for the innermost light. Davey Moore, Trevor Brown.
I would like to introduce you to a very special group of artists here. They're called LIQUIDELIC. And there's a whole group of them, but they basically came about because Yao, who's the founding member of LIQUIDELIC, wanted to be able to jam with painting. Yeah? She did beautiful still works and was just a little bit frustrated about feeling cut off, feeling isolated in her studio, and thought, I want to work with other people. And so, as a result of that desire, she discovered a whole lot of things, like the light shows of the 60s. And eventually, Yao met Roger, and they realised that they were kindred spirits, that they both made these wonderful kinetic light shows. And so Roger was absolutely delighted to be able to sort of hand the baton, if you like, to another generation. Maybe we should call it passing the lightsaber, I think, rather than handing over the baton. So please welcome to the stage LIQUIDELIC, who will be performing for you tonight, Sunflower and Hope. LIQUIDELIC. what a wealth of talent we have here tonight. And so, I'd like to introduce Yao and MIKO Sundari to perform AWUWA. MIKO is another member of LIQUIDELIC. You were watching Tim Parry on bass, and Karen MINAMI was our dancer for the last piece. And I'd like to bring the lovely MIKO onto the stage now, accompanied by Yao on those liquid lights.
I believe we all have spirit, and our ancestor from Japan, Jomon Lemuria, our ancestor knows word carries spirit. So this is the song from our home, from ancient and maybe ancient future.
This piece by LIQUIDELIC is called Mantra. Ladies and gentlemen, Leona Cohen playing her original compositions so gorgeously. Here we go. It's Yao MIKAMI. And here we come, Karen MINAMI. Please come to the stage. MICO SUNDARI. Tim Parry. Trevor Brown, where are you? Making those big brown notes. Is Warren still here? No, Davey Ray Moore. Davey Ray Moore. Oh, it seems that Warren got a little tired. And tonight wouldn't have happened without our fabulous Roger. Oh my goodness. Off the scooter. Roger with the wheels off. Ah. So lovely. Thank you.
Lucky boy.
You are. You're more than lucky. You're an inspiration.
Everybody, house lights.
Yes, house lights. House lights, please. Thank you all for coming.
I want to clap you guys.
Ah, there you are. Fantastic. Lighting crew up the back, and Spencer on sound. Ruben, at the back, please wave to us, Ruben. Been doing things up the back, and Zach, and Zoe from Argentina down the back there, and everyone's been absolutely wonderful, but it wouldn't have been a show without you all coming. It's, Jim from the church, Rob on the bar. Oh yes, he did an excellent job. More, come on, and Francesca, and Warren, who's no longer here with us. Something good on telly, and I'm sure there's a cone in the bowl. All right. The bar is shut. Thank you all for coming, and live in light.
you.